Last episode of Game of Thrones, it was emotionally enjoyable. They have, I don't know why they shot it through a potato. So the entire episode is too dark, it is blotchy, it is hard to look at. I was watching it on HBO Go, and I was streaming it, so it was kind of best quality. My TV is pretty good. It's still very difficult to see what is going on. The battle plan makes no sense. Also, the thrill of Game of Thrones in the first few seasons was the fact that anyone could die at any time, which made it much more realistic than other fantasy sagas where you knew that your favorite characters were going to live. Here they sort of eliminated a couple of characters who you knew were going to go at one point or another, but they couldn't even eliminate many of the fringe characters who probably have no major role going forward except to give somebody else, you know, a sort of happy ending in the story. Meaning, like, it was pretty obvious, not to get into details, and I'm just, whatever. If you haven't watched it, tough. Brienne was probably going to die here, right? Like, you thought Brienne was going to die. They knighted her. She was Sir Brienne. She finally had reached her life's conclusion, and now she's going to lead the left flank in this climactic battle against the Night King. And so I figured she would die, and probably Tormund would die also. Neither of them dies. And neither of them dies even though they are surrounded by ice zombies. I mean, surrounded by them. Grey Worm, you thought for sure he's gone. Nope, he's still alive. The only people of any consequence who die here at all are, let me try to remember, are Jorah Byzet and Theon. Those are the only people of any serious Dolorous Ed dies also, but, you know, who cares? Theon dies, and he was destined to go a long time ago. So, like, it was two people who you knew were going to go. Their stories had finished. They were toast. Everyone else lived. Everyone. So every single person dies because of the ice zombies, except for the characters you like. Guys, like, there better be some surprises in store, or this is going to be the most anticlimactic final season ever. Now, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Arya teleporting to kill the Night King. I mean, that was fun. And I don't agree with all the people who are, like, there are people who are idiotically saying that Arya is a Mary Sue. No, the definition of a Mary Sue is Rey from Star Wars. Right? If you are a character who randomly has powers without any training, you're a Mary Sue. If you are a person who trains for 6 seasons to do the sort of thing you just did, then you are not a Mary Sue. So Arya killing the Night King, fine with, I don't know what Bran's doing all episode. So Bran's just like being a bird or something. Just sitting around being a bird? What? Why? What was he doing? No one knows. They're flying around in the clouds on the dragons. Can't tell what's happening at all. No one can tell what's happening. So there's some serious holes. Also, battle strategy. I'm going to take this entire massive force that we brought across from the wide sea, and we will bring them across the narrow sea. We'll bring the entire Dothraki horde, and then we will eliminate all of them in the first 5 seconds in an ill-fated Pickett's charge against a superior force in darkness. Makes perfect sense. Also, we will not deploy the dragons at that time to kill all of the members of the Night King's army. We'll just wait until the entire Dothraki horde gets extinguished, and then we'll do it. Also, we will station the trebuchets in front of the ravine, and we'll station all the troops in front of the ravine. So we won't actually use the physical barrier that we have created to protect our soldiers, stop the forces of the Night King from approaching, so that we can, you know, kill them on the other side of that barrier. We will instead stand in front of the barrier so that they can kill us, and then we will retreat haphazardly back into Winterfell. Also, in the crypts, how does no one die in the crypts? How is that a thing? Okay, so there's my take. Hopefully, next week we'll finally get to Cersei. Again, I think that my biggest problem with Cersei as a character is I don't think that she is clever. So I think that the buildup of Cersei and Euron Greyjoy, who basically is pirate who works at Zara, not my characterization, I think it's Stephen Miller, not the Trump Stephen Miller, like Stephen Miller read Steve's online character. That's pretty much right. How is that alliance as interesting as the alliance against them? I guess that the entire force has been decimated, but Dany still is a dragon. In any case, we'll see where it goes from here. I was always more interested in the politics than the Night King. They had to get rid of the Night King. But with that said, there were some moments in the show that I really liked, but why it had to be filmed so that no one could see what was going on, pretentious creative choice. I had heard that they said, well, you know, it's not realistic if you use lighting. There are dragons, guys. Pretty sure that realism is not top of the line concern. I would like to see some things. Like, that's okay. How about, like, if you're going to spend whatever it was, some tens of millions of dollars on an episode, how about we see the result on, like, that would be good.